So James Hutton Institute is an independent, international, interdisciplinary research institute. It's located here in Scotland, both in Dundee and up the coast in Aberdeen. Those of you who might have been at Facing the Futures earlier this week saw our Dundee site. There's only about 500 research staff who work there across the two sites. We've kind of span a whole host of disciplines, so it's really nice to be working within an institute that has so many different disciplines to pull from and interact with. So our vision is to design and conduct transformative research, to transform how land and natural resources are managed, and our small ambition of transformative impact at multiple scales is deliberately kind of echoed in the iconography of the Sustainable Development Goals. I just want to touch on a couple of the projects that we're trying to integrate kind of transformative design into. So this is an example of an international conference project. It's in Ethiopia, and it focuses on soil restoration as a mechanism for poverty alleviation. It has an emphasis on the co-production of knowledge with local communities and land managers. And one of the interesting things that it has been able to incorporate into its research and design is it's provided these important relational spaces within which Ethiopian social, economic, and environmental researchers have been able to work together in a substantial way, in a way that they haven't been able to in the past. At a European scale, this is an example of projects that are also focused on land management. The emphasis here is really on thinking about how do we bring experts of any kind, whether they're a farmer or an agricultural advisor or a scientist, together to inform policy at European scale. So this is an example of a focus group. One of our colleagues, Leanne, led that focus group to think about how do we bring those different sorts of knowledges into the development of European farm policy. At a national scale, I've been working with Climate Exchange, which is Scotland's Centre for Expertise on Climate Change. And there we've been trying to incorporate an action research approach to evaluating a Scottish government policy intervention, which is focused on facilitating communities to become epicenters of low carbon living. So what we've tried to do here is incorporate reflective space and dialogic dialogue within and between different stakeholders, different experts, to learn from the community and the community level practice of trying to create behavior change and have that become contagious throughout a community. How do you learn from that to then inform national policy to roll that out elsewhere? Lastly, thinking about the local scale at which we work, this is an example of a project that's taking place and just about to launch right here in Dundee. So this focuses on the growing of soft fruit across the city of Dundee and engaging predominantly with communities that are low socioeconomic or highly deprived. So the main project, it's a collaboration between City Council, academics, town planners, and the medical profession, with the primary aim of trying to provide easy access to food in the form of fresh fruit to the most disadvantaged members of the Dundee society, with a kind of aspirational ambition of downstream having a greater kind of positive impact on health and contributing to the reduction of city deprivation. So this was part of my attempt to kind of reflect on how is the institute where I'm working thinking about transformation and trying to address transformation through its research practices. I want to invite Mel Woods up at this point as our keynote speaker to speak about a topic close to, obviously, my heart and many of our hearts, which is transformative research practices. Mel's a reader in creative intelligence, and she's based in the School of Art and Design Research Studio right here in University of Dundee. She brings a wealth of experience in designing methods and technologies to support and enable that co-creation process. And in her talk today is going to be considering how the contribution of the design discipline, how that can support and facilitate change and transformation. And she's got a couple of research projects that she's going to use as case studies to illustrate that. Mel, thank you.